This update is nuts, guys. My gosh, if this is all true, which I suspect it is, Blake Lively, you're awful.
Unless she backed up Blake's claims of SH, then they would release personal text messages about Taylor Swift to the public.
In this insane drama that is getting worse by the hour.
Guys, do you get how big this is and how much this is exploding?
Blake Lively was wrecked in court by her bestie. But can you really blame Taylor?
If Miss Swift failed to do so, Miss Lively would release 10 years of private texts with Miss Swift.
Blake straight up blackmailed Taylor with her private texts. And honestly, that's rock bottom.
That Blake Lively's lawyer allegedly threatened Taylor Swift and extorted her to release a public statement in support of Blake, or text messages would be released.
Blake's lawyer threatened Taylor to back her publicly or leak private texts.
She threatened to publicly release 10 years of text messages. Can you imagine all the texts back and forth about Taylor Swift's exes?
10 years of private texts, gossip, secrets, plans, threatening to leak all unless Taylor complies? That's a serious line crossed.
This was the original letter that was sent by Brian Freeman. Well,
Brian Freeman isn't joking. He's risking his career with serious sworn statements. The subpoena to Taylor's law firm shows this fight is now in court, where the truth has to come out.
And it turns out that this dates back to actually February earlier this year, when he received a phone call from someone who wanted to tell him something.
On Valentine's Day 2025, Blake's lawyer allegedly demanded Taylor publicly support Blake's Super Bowl absence. When she refused, Blake threatened to leak private texts.
also accused Taylor of Blake of asking Taylor to delete text messages.
Blake allegedly asked Taylor months earlier to delete their texts. This wasn't a sudden tantrum, but a planned move. That's classic evidence tampering, and the courts don't take it lightly.
Mr. Baldridge had accused Mr. Gottlieb of extortion and ended the call. If this is what happened, this is extortion, and I believe this happened without a doubt. I'm taking this as fact.
This wasn't just a fight. It's a major legal red flag. Taylor's lawyer calling extortion points to possible crimes like witness tampering and intimidation. If proven, it could lead to serious penalties, even criminal charges. This drama could shake up Hollywood's power games.
So today, Brian Freeman sent an affidavit to the judge, meaning that someone has sworn to him that the information they gave him about Taylor Swift is true.
What makes this explosive? Brian Freeman took these claims to court, filing a detailed sworn affidavit. No whispers, all official.
In this statement to the judge, he says, I received a voicemail on February 14, 2025, from a person very closely linked to Taylor Swift, whom I subsequently called back the same day.
The info comes from a trusted insider close to Taylor Swift. No anonymous tips, just solid, credible evidence backing the case.
My office issued a subpoena to Venable LLP for the purpose of seeking for a mentioned written communication.
Because of this, Venable LLP, Taylor Swift's lawyers, were subpoenaed to hand over all related communications. The legal stakes are sky high.
Brian Freeman responded to this. This was a letter where they, it should be noted, this was anonymously sourced, and they're just abusing us again, and this is categorically false, blah, 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 blah.
Blake's team denied all claims and asked the court to strike Freeman's affidavit, calling the accusations false and an abuse of the legal system.
Meanwhile, it's not signed by Gottlieb. It's not signed, I swear by, this is false. It was signed by Ezra Hudson, a different lawyer, not from that firm, which was odd to me. It was a big red flag. Well,
strangely, the motion to remove the affidavit wasn't signed by Michael Gatto, the accused lawyer. Instead, another firm handled it, making people question how strong their defense really is. It looks like they're distancing their key players, and that's not a good sign.
Taylor Swift, one of the most litigious people in the world, is not coming forward to deny any of this. Typically, when her friends, women under fire, are put in the spotlight like this, she is very quick to go after and declare and have her team shut up everybody.
Taylor Swift has stayed completely silent, which is unusual since her team usually denies rumors fast. This quietness speaks volumes, making many think there's truth to the serious accusations. The silence only fuels curiosity about what's really going on behind the scenes.
That is the fact that Judge Lehman actually did toss out the letter.
The whole mess went public fast, and the court acted quickly. Judge Louis J. Lehman removed Freeman's letter from the records because his court lacked authority over the subpoena case elsewhere. He warned serious claims in court files could turn the trial into a circus and hurt a fair hearing. But removing the letter doesn't mean the fight is over.
Now we know what she did to Taylor Swift, especially all these feminists supporting other women, and we know that she blackmailed her friend and pressured her to destroy evidence.
Blake Lively's image took a huge hit, going from Hollywood sweetheart to accused manipulator and blackmailer of Taylor Swift. Even her celeb friends like Salma Hayek and Chris Pratt, once seen supporting her, now face suspicion. Some public moments feel awkward or staged, and the friendship vibes have definitely cooled.
The media tried to paint us who were defending Justin Baldoni, Jamie Heath, Wayfair, and all of them as misogynistic, and we just don't want to believe women. Where are all the Me Too people? Where are all the celebrity A-listers that should have her back?
One of the most striking things is Hollywood's silence and the missing #MeToo support. Usually, serious allegations spark huge backing, hashtags, marches, celeb statements. But when Blake claims victimhood, that support just isn't there. It makes you wonder who Hollywood really stands with when it matters.
Filed a motion to strike opposing his subpoena to Venable.
Blake Lively's team didn't just stay quiet, they fought back. But instead of having the accused lawyer Michael Gatatla defend Blake, they kept him at arm's length. That only raises more questions, making it look like they're trying to hide something.
And most notably, the motion claims that the facts set forth in the 14th letter are unequivocally and demonstrably false, yet is unsupported by any sworn declaration to that effect, much less for Mr. Gotep.
Blake's legal team didn't just deny the claims, they asked the court to scrap Freeman's affidavit, calling it false and baseless. They accused him of spreading conspiracy theories and damaging Blake's reputation through the media. Classic blame the messenger move. When a team points fingers instead of explaining, it usually means they're hiding something.
Both of these parties, it's not just Justin's side, Blake's side is doing it too. They are both playing this in the press. And when Blake's team tries to play like, oh, we're better, we're not doing this, we're not making this a circus, yeah, come on.
Both sides are battling to control the narrative. Blake's team wants to silence Freeman's explosive claims, while Freeman's camp fights to keep the truth in front of the judge. If Blake's defense was solid, wouldn't they just lay it all out? This desperate fight to bury the story screams fear of what's really coming.
Interesting here that Taylor Swift has not come out publicly through some of her spokespeople to deny these things or these claims if they weren't true. She would jump on this instantly and say this isn't true.
Now, here's the twist. Taylor Swift's camp is totally silent. Usually, they're quick to shut down rumors or attacks. But this time, nothing. That silence speaks volumes.
This isn't true. Where is Tree Payne? Tree Payne wouldn't let this just be out here if it was a lie, if it was false.
Tree Payne, Taylor's PR ace, usually rushes to clear the air. But on these blackmail claims, total silence, no denials, no statements. That quiet is deafening. When someone this savvy stays silent, it usually means there's some truth behind the rumors.
Now, we don't know if, there's been a lot of speculation about Taylor Swift, her involvement. She keeps making these denials. And a lot of us have been very critical of Taylor because, what's going on?
Taylor and Blake's friendship? It's basically over. No texts, no public moments, just lawyer-to-lawyer talks now. This isn't a fallout, it's a full breakup. When friends talk through lawyers, you know it's serious.
Taylor Swift, one of the most litigious people in the world, is not coming forward to deny any of this. Typically, when her friends, women under fire, are put in the spotlight like this, she is very quick to go after and declare and have her team shut up everybody.
Taylor's silence and the growing distance only make things worse for Blake. When someone accused stays quiet or tries to hide it, people usually assume the worst. Taylor's quiet strategy leaves Blake looking guilty, turning a private fight into a full public scandal.
This is So many layers of the legalities, the crimes that would be committed if this actually happened is outrageous. So of course they're coming out there with this.
Blake and her team are trying hard to bury the damaging documents and deny the claims. But the legal battle is far from over. The court fights show how high the stakes are. Taylor's team is playing smart, revealing key info at the right time, while Blake's side tries to keep the truth hidden.
Where in the world is the denial? None. It would be all that you would see.
Taylor's team is focused on protecting her image quietly, while Blake's attempts to deny and suppress evidence just raise more suspicion. Taylor has shown she doesn't back down in court, and Blake's efforts to silence her have backfired badly. This might be one of the most dramatic courtroom battles in recent years.
It's confirmation until it isn't. I believe it 100%. It had to come from Taylor. It had to come from her team.
Taylor Swift holds the upper hand with affidavits and subpoenas supporting her claims. Blake Lively's team tries to rewrite the story, but her reputation is already damaged. This battle isn't just about texts. It's the public collapse of a high-profile Hollywood friendship.
Because now Blake Lively is completely ruined.
Stay tuned as this court battle unfolds. New revelations could still drop. When the truth comes out, it'll be huge. Taylor Swift just destroyed Blake Lively in court, and this story is far from over.
He told Mr. Friedman that he shouldn't abuse the court system. He said counsel is advised that future misuse of the court's docket may be met with sanction.
Judge Louis J. Lyman wasn't having the circus stirred up by Brian Freeman's letter. He struck the letter from the docket, not because the claims were false, but because the case was being heard in the wrong court. The subpoena fight between Taylor Swift's legal team and others was unfolding in Washington, D.C., not his New York courtroom. Courts have strict rules about jurisdiction, and this was simply out of his lane, so he made it clear his court wasn't the right place for this battle.
Said he agreed with Blake Lively's team and said that this information has nothing to do with the actual case, which I also thought about yesterday. I think I spoke about it. Like, why is this subpoena from Taylor Swift important to Justin Baldoni?
But Judge Lyman didn't stop there. He called the letter what it really was, a public relations stunt dressed up as a legal filing. He warned that letting such letters stay on court records risks turning serious legal proceedings into media circus fodder. Courts aren't reality TV shows, and judges take protecting fair trials seriously. When scandal leaks through court documents, it can poison the process and undermine justice. Essentially, the judge told both sides to keep the drama out of his courtroom and follow the rules. Even though the letter was removed, the legal fight is far from over. The subpoena and sworn affidavit remain active, now moving to the appropriate court.
When Blake's team tries to play like, oh, we're better, we're not doing this, we're not making this a circus. Yeah, come on. Everybody in the industry is laughing at you, Blake and Ryan. You look ridiculous.
All this legal drama is seriously damaging Blake Lively's public image. The blackmail allegations are shifting how people see her, from a polished Hollywood star to someone who might threaten a longtime friend to protect herself. That kind of story doesn't sit well with fans or the public, and Blake's once clean reputation is starting to crumble.
What do they have on Selma? Who wrote Selma Hayek into this? Does she not know what the case is what's going on with the case? Do they have dirt on her? Did they blackmail her like it's been alleged that they blackmailed Taylor Swift? Do they have text, information, receipts? I don't know. Higher ups who are in charge of Selma, maybe they have information about them.
Even media outlets and celebrities who once openly supported Blake and Ryan Reynolds are now pulling back or questioning if they should continue standing by them. When the spotlight moves from glamour to scandal, it's tough to keep those positive vibes alive. Even celebrities close to Blake are treading cautiously amid all this. Take Salma Hayek and Chris Pratt, for example. They've been seen publicly backing Blake and Ryan Reynolds, but the energy isn't quite the same. The support feels more guarded than genuine. Some fans and observers describe their support as awkward or even staged, like they're just maintaining appearances while privately wondering what's really happening. When your closest circle starts to look like a fragile alliance, it's a clear sign the pressure is mounting. The most striking thing is the silence from Hollywood and the #MeToo movement.
The media tried to paint us who were defending Justin Baldoni, Jamie Heath, Wayfair, and all of them is misogynistic and we just don't want to believe women. Where are all the Me Too people? Where are all the celebrity A-listers that should have her back?
When Blake made her claims, support from fellow celebrities was noticeably missing. This silence speaks volumes about Blake's credibility and how the industry's support can sometimes be selective.
Again, I'm going to promote this shirt. I put it on again. Taylor Swift is declaring, I am nobody's dragon, girl. I am not your dragon. I've stayed quiet. I've stayed away. But girl, now that I'm getting dragged in this, you're about to get run over because I am not going to hold back.
This scandal has grown beyond gossip. Merch with slogans like, I am nobody's dragon are appearing, symbolizing a stand against bullying and abuse of power. It's now about speaking up, seeking justice, and exposing lies wherever they happen.
Point is because all of the people out there, creators, all the people that have been digging into this, all the mommy sleuths that found things, have all of this together has created this moment when we starting to really see the truth there of what has happened.
As the courtroom battle continues, legal filings and affidavits are slowly revealing the bigger picture. This isn't just a celebrity feud. It exposes how power, friendship, and justice clash in public. With the media and court intertwined, the fight is as much about controlling the narrative and reputation as it is about facts. The world is watching closely to see how justice plays out when fame meets the law.
Packing those are really important, and just seeing all the connections and ties in Hollywood will really, open our eyes to just how corrupt they all are.
Blake Lively faces serious accusations of threatening to delete messages and blocking witnesses, which could lead to criminal charges. If true, it could damage trust within Hollywood. This case shows that behind the glamour, there are real risks and complicated problems. It also reveals how celebrity culture often clashes with true justice, where protecting images can seem more important than the truth. The fight between Taylor and Blake highlights how tough it is to find justice when reputation and money are on the line.
In case, a different type of thing, but it's the same thing. Where is all of Hollywood? But now it looks like maybe there's some blackmail on Chris Pratt, because that's how it seems they're moving with Taylor Swift, but Taylor Swift was not about that.
This case raises questions about how often powerful people settle these battles quietly away from the public eye. When the legal system is used to control stories, accountability gets tricky. Blake's lawyers are fighting hard to block subpoenas and remove damaging court documents, but their efforts only make things look more suspicious. The story is unfolding rapidly with new updates, and it's not just about legal papers, it's about public perception too. This drama is far from over, so stay tuned and subscribe to keep up with the latest.